My name is RyanAndrekus. I served in the United States Marine Corps as an infantryman from 2011 to 2017. And then in January of 2017, I joined the Army, and I served in the Army from 2017 to January of 2020. And then I'm currently serving in the National Guard. So what made me decide to join the service? Well, it's a tough question for most because a lot of people go straight to the cliche answers like wanted to serve my country, I was answering the calling, stuff like that. But I mean, among all of that stuff, that is the reason why I joined. However, my main reason why I joined is because I didn't think I could do it. I didn't think I could become a Marine when I was in high school. And so I had a lot of supporters, but I also had a lot of people doubting me going into it. And so that was one of my main drives. And that's basically the mindset of a Marine is when you're told you can't do something, Marines will do it. And they'll do it flawlessly. And I did. And so that's basically why I joined. I also joined because I had this thought in my mind that I didn't want anyone else in my family to serve, and one of us had to do it, and so I just decided to be the one to do it. Unfortunately, my little sister, not unfortunately, but my little sister, after she graduated from college, had a good job in Florida, calls me up and said she wants to be a Marine Corps pilot, which she did. So she also followed in my footsteps, and I look up to her every day for it. The career fields I was trained in, well, so in your basic training boot camp, you're trained in multiple things. However, my main job was infantry. So I was an infantry rifleman. I did every job from rifleman, grenadier, machine gunner, team leader, and at times I was a squad leader. The most memorable experience serving my country, I would have to say, was switching branches. That was probably the most memorable and hardest thing I ever had to do. I didn't go to basic training for the Army because I did boot camp in the Marine Corps, and I went straight to my unit. For the first month, I was in regular civilian clothes and a Marine Corps ID card. I had nothing, and I had no idea what I was doing because the Army does everything different than the Marine Corps. If the Marine Corps calls it potato, the Army calls it potato. So it took me about a year to transition, which I think I did a pretty good job doing. The time that I've served has definitely contributed a lot to my life today. Even though I'm still currently serving in the National Guard, I definitely have become more confident. I've become a better leader. I've done lots of leadership schools. I've had good leadership, bad leadership coming up in the Marine Corps. And I really took my bad leadership and I used that as a way to tell myself how not to be a leader. And that made me a better leader, if that makes any sense. But my good leadership showed me what servant leadership was. And I take that into my job I do today. So the people that I have under me at my job, I definitely go out of my way to help them out any chance they need. And that's one big way that my time in service has contributed to my life today. Returning to civilian life was definitely a hard thing for me. I was going through a lot of marital issues back home, and I had to make a decision to either stay in or get out and be in my son's life, which I did. So that was a very hard thing for me to do because I really enjoyed my time in. I wanted to stay in. I wanted to stay in active duty for 20 years. If I had to give any advice to a high school student today, would definitely be to listen to your teachers. Do not, when I was in high school, I was kind of a bad apple. I didn't listen to my teachers. I had a hard time listening to anybody that had any sort of superiority over me. And I wish I could go back and change that because serving in the military, especially in the Marine Corps, you learn to take orders, you learn to carry out missions, the way that you're told to do it. So that would be one thing I would say to a high school student today, but also not to be resilient. That was one of the biggest things I learned while I was in the Army. My first year in the Army, I got into a little bit of trouble. However, I stayed very resilient, and I worked my way back up in the ranks, and I was very successful getting out. So resiliency is a big thing. Anytime something happens in your life that sets you back, use that as fuel to be a better person.